TV 1061, conceptualizing your ideas across the world and beyond.
You guys, I am Kelz, and you are tuning in live to Talk Show Divas. We are here streaming live in Douglasville at TV 1061. I want to give a quick shout out to our guy T Green at the radio show 5XL Tap Detroit. Hi, ladies.
Hello.
Hi. So, I want you beautiful ladies introduce yourselves.
First, I'm the lovely Cece Allure. How are you?
Hi, Cece. I'm Sarah. Nice to see you guys again.
Hello, everyone. I'm Brandi.
Brandi, I'm loving your outfit.
Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, y'all. So, speaking of Christmas, and we're going to talk about children, I have a very, it might be a personal question. When is a good time to introduce somebody new to your children? So you get in a relationship with someone and they know your kids, they have a relationship, they've built a rapport with them, they know them, and that doesn't work out, so then that person's gone. Sometimes the person might stay in their life, sometimes they don't. If you meet somebody new, when is a good time for them to meet your kids?
I am totally different from what most people think or would say or would do. Me personally, we introduce right off the bat. Okay. Day one. Because if you're dating me, you're going to date my kids too. Now, that doesn't mean that they need to know what we're doing in the bedroom. That doesn't mean that they need to see you get up and go brush your teeth or spend the night. No, we're not doing that. But if you're going to feed me, you're going to feed little man too. If you're going to take me to the movies, little man can come to the movies too. He doesn't have to know, like I said, what's going on between you and I. To my child, that's just someone who's taking mommy and me to the movies, taking mommy and me to dinner. And we're going to fill each other out that way. I think that it's a mistake to wait till you feel like it's a good time. It's never a good time. You're never going to feel like it's a good time. I mean, that's a really hard decision for a single parent to make. I was a single mom for 8 years, so I dated. I was single. I was young. I was fine. I mean, who wouldn't want to date me?
Yes.
But my child came along with me. Now, what I did not allow him to see is me spend the night or the guy spend the night. He didn't see those types of things, but dinner, movie, carnival, that type of stuff. Yeah, let's fill each other out. You can be a friend. Mommies are allowed to have friends, right?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
That's my opinion.
Okay, so what if you're in a serial dater? Like you go out, maybe different guys, different nights. Are you taking your kid around the one person that you've spent some time with?
No, not at all. I totally understand your question. Not at all. So I'm a serial dater, right? So that means I'm most of the time dating at night. I'm doing these booty call type dates. No, my child is either with his father or with, I'm dating. I'm doing those type of dates when my child is not there, because I never wanted to leave my kid to go be with a man.
Right.
Yeah. So
the one you feel the closest with, that's who you bring around when you're going to the dating stage.
Absolutely.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, and I would agree with her. Normally, I would say never. ever. Only from personal experiences I went through as a child with my mom dating. So, but in that same aspect, the way, Brandi just stated that it should be a situation to where only if y'all are serious and you're not just a serial dater. Because last case scenario, you don't want to leave a man you really don't know with your kids.
Exactly.
Or you shouldn't be sleeping in the house and you got a grown man walking around
in his
drawers. And you got kids.
What you want for breakfast?
So it's levels to it, definitely.
No. And a lot of this stuff is actually criminal in Georgia. There's a cohabitation law that you can't sleep in a home occupied by children that are not yours if you are not married to their parent. And that is a crime. Cohabitation is a crime. And the absent parent of said child could take issue and could make that a court thing. And I think a lot of single moms might not know that.
Well, excuse me. I just think, I don't know, if you get in an argument with your boyfriend and he's been living with you and you try to put him out, they got laws where you can't just put him out. So how is that possible?
Someone gets mail to your home.
I heard that too.
Put them out. And if they've been to your house for over 24 hours consistently, you cannot put them out.
You have to evict them.
So they got 30 days after?
I'm about to go sit in somebody's mansion.
Yeah.
We're going to have car dates. Well, we're going to get in a car talking. You can't come inside.
Come on, take that couch.
I've been through this situation a couple of times. Don't judge. But I have 3 children by 3 different men.
Okay.
And it has been such a challenge. The second man that I introduced into my first child's life, he was abusive. And that is a guilt that I carry and will carry forever, that I brought this person into my home. And I think if I could tell 20-year-old Sarah some advice, it would have been, check this guy out a little. Yeah. Check him out. Maybe see him interact with his family. Yeah. That'll tell you a lot. Because if I had taken the time to do that, I would have seen a lot of red flags. Wow. If I'd have just investigated it.
Yeah, and I think mine would, I don't know. I guess it depends on how I like the person or how I feel like the connection is going. Because I talked to a guy for 2 years, and he's seen my kids twice. And then I dated a guy for 4 months, and early on, he met the kids. So I guess it depends on the connection or what it is. Right.
And I think if they have kids themselves, I think it would be really awkward as a mother. I don't have any kids. I just work with a lot of kids. That was my field for a long time. But I honestly think that if he's not with his kids or you never see his kids, that should be a red flag.
Absolutely.
Now that brings me to baby's daddy number 3.
Shout out to baby daddies.
Thank you. Yes, shout out to baby's daddies everywhere. This one, he was raising his child by himself.
Okay.
And that was one of the things that attracted me to him. I said, oh, well, he's being a parent to this child, then he'll understand my struggles and what have you, but it still did not work out that way. There are no guarantees.
There is none. So then it's the question, if you're dating and you want your child to be around while you're dating, if that doesn't work out, and you thought it might work out because you started to date this guy, how many different people are you bringing around your kids, and how is that going to affect them? Do they just know, like you said, is this just a friend? He's never going to be anything more than that. How do you go from?
I think they should talk to the kids, because honestly, the things that I went through as a child, if my mom would have sat down and been like, okay, well, this guy right here, this is something that's going to happen. How do you feel about him? Do you like him? Like, is there anything weird about him? Do you talk different to you when I'm not around? Like, these are questions that we should ask our children, and not necessarily, going how we feel or how the male feel. Right. But get the kids involved. If they old enough to talk and they have to deal with it, ask them.
So what if you got the kid that is very much involved in their father's life and is going to say they don't like anybody?
Well, don't bring nobody around them.
Right.
Besides,
you got problems.
It's going to be So do you just never have happiness?
No.
Well, you could do it privately, couldn't you? I mean, does your kid have to know everything you do? My kid don't know everything.
No, I'm saying, say this is somebody you're seriously dating at this point, and like you said, you want to get your child's opinion on that person, and your child is not even going to be receptive because this is my dad. I don't know who this is. He's never going to be my dad.
So if daddy involved, when the baby with daddy, that's when you go out and date.
Yeah.
That means he's in the life. It's different when you're a single mother and then you don't have, the father to drop the baby off at. And then it's like, hey, well, he might need to come in and help mama with some bills for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But I think that the child should always have a voice or a choice. That's when children start acting out, is when they feel like, oh, nobody's listening to me. She has this man at home. I don't like this man. Oh, I don't like these grades. Ain't nobody helping me. Mama dating and I ain't got no school work help. You know what I'm saying? That's when kids start acting out, because most of them just want to be heard. So I think that if you talk to your child, 9 times out of 10, you could come out with a better decision. I don't have kids, like I said, but just working with kids.
I think you make a balance.
She does. For the one that
I never asked my kids, but I probably will.
Yeah, personally, I don't believe my children. My children have no say so in my relationship. So I never thought about it in the way that you just said, but I did that, not even realizing that I did that. Like I said, I was a single mom for 8 years before I met my husband, and my husband understood from the very beginning, my son is number one. He comes before you. He comes before anyone else, and my husband respected that. My son was in our relationship. He was a part of what we were doing very early on, but it was okay, babe, we're gonna go to the movies tonight. You know, we're gonna go with Q. He's my friend. He's mom's friend. You know, do you want to go? Do you feel like you want to be a part of us going to the movies? And if he felt comfortable, then we all went to the movies. If he didn't, then I didn't go to the movies that night.
That's a good barometer for you, mom, too.
Yeah.
That's a good barometer. You should trust your kids' instinct.
To bring it in like early on in the relationship, because if you date for months at a time and then you let them meet your kids and then the kids don't click with the guy, then it's like, oh my gosh, what do I do? So that's smart. Like early on, I have a kid. You need to understand that this is your life now.
Right.
Deal with it, or you can go on. I never thought about it that way.
And
that's smart.
If I eat, little man eating too.
Yeah,
we all eat. We all can go to Golden Corral and eat good tonight. I mean, that's okay. We don't have to hold hands and kiss and do all that stuff. We don't have to do that in front of him.
Yeah.
So I just feel like, as long as my child is comfortable with being in that situation, but I never even thought that I was asking him for his
Your subconscious did what you
because I was not ever looking for a father for my son. I was looking for, if anything, a husband for me, because my child is going to grow up. He's going to move out. He's going to have his own life, and I'm still going to have to deal with this man. And if I only married him to be a father to my child, then what happens when my children grow up? I was looking for someone for me. So my son, my children had no say-so in my relationship, but they are the main number one priorities in my relationship. So I don't know.
They're always be there.
But they're going to be there because if you and the husband, you know, God forbid, break up in so many years, you know, and you have this child that hated you for having that decision to be with that man, that's what you got to deal with after that husband leaves. But children are innocent, though. At the end of the day, for a child not to like somebody,
there's a reason.
It's a reason. They see something that you don't see, so it's always good to ask. And especially, I like how you said that we go out. And you know, if you want to come out with us, I don't think that when you're first dating somebody, it should be
in
at
the
home.
House. No,
that's awkward.
Thank you.
That'd be awkward. You need to
shout out to everybody on
house.
Facebook because they always want to do this Netflix and chill.
No,
not
with the mama.
I don't care. Like they make these posts like, "What if I cook for you?"
No,
I'm not coming to your house,
and I don't like to wash dishes. You're not going to cook nothing for me. I hate that.
I'm not coming to your house early on. If somebody I'm actually sleeping with, I will come to your house and we can chill. But we're just now meeting each other and we're trying to hang out.
No,
and in this position, we have a very unique opportunity to model appropriate dating behaviors for our children.
Women don't do that no more, so it messes it up.
Look, girls think it's normal for him just to want to come over and lay up and chill with you when you got to lead by example.
You're going to date me, sweetheart.
My
son understands what opening doors mean. My son,
maybe I'm a dinosaur.
Like, it's okay to be old school on something.
It is. It really is. Chivalry is not dead, people. Okay, there are still real men out here.
Yeah, standards just got lowered. That's all. Chivalry is not dead. Men gonna do what you accept. You know them to do.
Exactly what you said.
Right. I'm trying to teach my daughter that now. She's 16, and of course she's into boys. I'm sorry to get off subject a little bit, but she's into boys, and all the boys she's telling us about, I'm like, they mean nothing to me because they have not came to my house. They have not met your dad. They have not got the shotgun talk. They have not asked you to the movies. Right. That's nobody. That's the person that you talk to when you're at school. The boy that you're actually dating, he's going to take you to the movies, and he's going to be okay with your parents sitting 2 rows behind, or he's going to be okay with your little boy. He's going to date you. Okay, understand what dating mean. Ain't no coming to the house, kicking it, or won't you come over such and such house and I'll be over there in the apartment. No, player. Movies. Come to the house for Thanksgiving dinner. How about that?
Oh, yes.
Exactly.
Yeah. You want to lead us in grace?
Chivalry is not dead. And teach your daughters to respect themselves. Yes. Teach your sons to respect women. Yes. And, you know, we might make this place just a little bit better. Just a little bit.
So that works going on dates, because if you date a guy that's chivalrous, your child sees, your boy sees how to treat a woman, and your daughter sees how you should be treated.
Absolutely.
When you're going on a date and the guy is opening the door for you, your daughter's like, oh, okay.
Absolutely.
Or, you know, pulling your chair
just
out.
Just like anything else, it can be a positive experience if you make it that way. And if you take it as a learning experience and make it a teaching opportunity.
Put your foot down. If there's stuff you don't like, why would you settle for something at the beginning?
Right. That you're going to get mad about it.
Exactly. That's just like, you know, a woman be with a man, it's been 2 years, you ain't took me out. Did he ever take you out? like, these are things y'all did at the beginning. So how can you expect him to do it later? Like that's what you settled for. So he gonna take Becky out. He gonna take Tanisha out. He gonna take all these other women out except for you, because guess what? You Netflix and chill, boo.
Yeah. So you allowed him to cook at home. Yeah. So 6 months later, when he's cooking at home, now you mad. Right. You did that on day one.
Right. Yep. Now, I do believe, even though I believe in bringing the kid in early, you get a feel out for that person first. Like, not very first date, no.
Yeah, I'm saying, hey, here's Johnny.
No. But I'll, talk to you. We'll have some conversations and let me feel you out just a little bit. But as soon as I feel like we might just step over that line a little bit, or I might give you some. Okay, we might go a little further than a month. Yes, we're going out with the kid, because I want my kid, again, never even realized I was doing this. I want to know how my kid feels about you, because kids do have good instincts. And my son was like, I was like,
You got no kids, get a dog. If my dog bites you, I'm probably not going to see you.
Right. And that's what happened in my situation, because even the guy that I was dating for the 4 months at the time, he was never going to meet my kids, but my son came to me one day, not knowing that prior to this guy, I had dated somebody for 2 whole years. Mm-hmm. He was like, Mommy, I think it's time for you to date. Aww. So I was like, maybe he wants to meet somebody. Like, he was 11 at the time. And so I was just like, okay. And so we all went to, main event.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
The kids, and, they went and did their thing. Me and my daughter went and did our thing. But, when the relationship doesn't work anymore, I was like, when do you bring a new one around? Like, I don't want to bring a new one around.
I think before y'all do any of that, Google is very important. Let me tell y'all something. Before you do anything, Google him. Baby, put his name next to mugshot. Yep. If he's been in jail, you're gonna know. Stop dating these pedophiles and these wanted men. If he got a warrant, it's gonna pop up.
And you said it earlier too. Stop leaving your kids with boyfriends.
Yes.
Stop it. You cannot put the worm back in the hole. No. Yes. Don't do it. Once the damage is done, it is done.
It's done.
Was it really worth you going to get your nails done?
Right.
And that's a lot of what I see is these moms are so starved for personal time. They get a boyfriend. They start treating that boyfriend like he is the actual child's father.
Right.
And that is inappropriate. There are men who prey on
that. On just that.
Right.
Shout out to my kid's father, Tori. Like, every time I'm working almost 6-7 days a week, different projects, and he is the one that gets me. Like, if you got something, just let me know. If you're going to be late, they can just stay here. So we do.
Yeah, if you could watch your kids, men do it. Why would you want another man sitting there with your children? You don't know what this man, intentions are when people are gone. Like, we never know. And I was a victim. At the end of the day, I was left home with a man, and I hate to say it, I lost my virginity to my stepfather. And so these are things that women just shouldn't have to go through. And I think that if my mom, shout out to mom, but if she took the extra step, to stay home, why would you leave that night? What are things that were more important to you making sure that this person you already probably don't like for real, why would you leave them home with your child? Like, these are just things that...
Because there's always signs.
It's always signs.
There's always signs.
From drugs to anything else. If you suspect anything about him, period. Like, it's just things that, as a woman... I don't have no kids. I'm going to leave my dog with everybody.
May I ask you a question? Your stepfather, did you have bad vibes about him from the beginning?
I didn't have a choice. I didn't get asked about it. So, necessarily when she started dating this man, I was like, matter of fact, the weird thing about it, he actually raised me from when I was like 8, and he didn't do it till I was like 10. So, I don't know if it was a thought process on his mind, like I'm about to raise her and then do this, or if he... had a drug habit and just decided to slip up and do it. But
were y'all cool before that? From 8 to 10, were y'all good? Like,
yeah, like
my stepdad, I love him.
He was a little weird, he smelled like cigarettes all the time. But at the end of the day, he had his things, but it wasn't like a malice feeling because I was innocent. So I didn't feel like, I don't like him. You don't need to have him around. I didn't like when him and my mom argued.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
they argued, before situations like that happened. But I didn't feel like bad. About him prior.
Okay. I was just asking because we were speaking about how kids get that inkling, that feeling, that vibe,
right?
And I know we got to end our segment in just a few seconds, but I really feel like we need to come back to this because I never understood how Michael Jackson could be a child molester and children gravitate to him.
Yes,
that children know. I mean, for the most part, they know. So I'm sorry.
Well, Michael Jackson was a victim.
Yeah, he was a victim. He was a victim.
But by you saying that, that's just like a guy. If he dates a woman, what Cat Williams say, I don't drink Alizé, but women do, so that's just like men. If they're pedophiles, they might not play with toys, but children do, so they're going to keep things around them that's going to be appeasing to a child,
right?
To bring them in. So guess what? That's my friend. And honestly, after my stepdad did that, of course, every time he went to the store, it's like, oh, you want something from the store? You want some money?
Try to get on your good.
Right, trying to get on my good side. And I ended up meeting my father, like when I was 11, my biological father. I met him again or whatever, and this guy would be petrified. I would be on the phone talking to my dad. Like, he would literally be right there for listening to every conversation to see if I told. And of course, it was all, if you tell, I'm gonna kill you and your mom. So these are psychological things, children really deal with that people don't think, because we think, oh, we're just dating, but in reality, you opening up a whole can of worms.
Yeah. So to sum it up, pretty much depending on the woman and her comfortability with the guy that she's seeing is to when you know when to bring a man around your kid.
Absolutely.
So we could agree to say that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so we have to go to a quick commercial break. Again, we are streaming live in Douglasville at TV 1061. And up next, we have Miss Cece hosting. So y'all stay tuned.
TV 1061, conceptualizing your ideas across the world and beyond.